Have you ever wondered why we feel compelled to follow the rules, even those we might not fully agree with? What makes the authority of a government legitimate, and why do we often feel a deep sense of duty to obey its laws? These are not simple questions, and philosophers have grappled with them for centuries. At its heart, political obligation explores the moral duty citizens have to obey the laws and directives of their state. The major theories attempting to explain this obligation include consent theory, gratitude theory, fairness theory, natural duty theory, and theories of associative obligations. Each offers a unique perspective on why we should adhere to collective norms and governmental decrees. Let us dive into the core arguments behind these fascinating theories. Consent theory, for instance, posits that our obligation to obey the state stems from our explicit or implicit agreement to do so. Explicit consent might involve voting, taking an oath, or signing a contract. Tacit consent is often seen in simply residing within a country and enjoying its protections, implying an agreement to abide by its laws. Critics often debate how genuinely free or informed this consent truly is. Next, gratitude theory suggests that citizens have an obligation to obey the state out of gratitude for the benefits it provides, such as security, infrastructure, and public services. The argument is that since the state provides these valuable goods, we owe it our obedience in return. However, this theory can struggle with the question of whether receiving unrequested benefits automatically creates an obligation. Fairness theory, also known as the principle of fair play, argues that when we participate in a mutually beneficial scheme and accept its benefits, we incur an obligation to do our part to uphold that scheme. If others are contributing to maintaining a stable society, it is only fair that we also contribute by obeying the laws, rather than free riding on their efforts. This theory emphasizes reciprocity and shared responsibility. Then there is natural duty theory, which holds that our obligation to obey the state arises not from consent or benefit, but from universal moral duties that apply to all individuals, irrespective of their specific circumstances. One prominent natural duty is the duty to support just institutions. If a state is generally just and maintains order, then we have a natural moral duty to uphold it. This duty is seen as something we owe to all people, not just to our fellow citizens. Finally, theories of associative obligations suggest that duties arise simply from our membership in a community or association. Just as we might have special obligations to our family members or friends simply by virtue of those relationships, we have obligations to our fellow citizens and the state because we are part of that shared political community. These obligations are seen as non-voluntary, flowing directly from our social ties. Understanding these different philosophical approaches is not just an academic exercise. It helps us critically examine our own responsibilities as citizens. When faced with a law or a government action, considering these theories allows us to ask important questions. Did I truly consent to this authority? Have I benefited from this system in a way that creates an obligation? Is this system fair, and am I doing my part? Does this state uphold a level of justice that demands my obedience? And does my membership in this community inherently create duties? It is important to note that no single theory of political obligation is universally accepted as the definitive answer. Many philosophers argue that elements from several theories might combine to form a more complete picture. The very fact that this question remains a subject of intense philosophical debate highlights its complexity and significance. Some even explore the concept of philosophical anarchism, which questions whether a legitimate political obligation can ever truly exist for everyone, suggesting that individuals might have no inherent moral duty to obey the state's commands unless they are also independently moral. By exploring these major theories of political obligation, we gain a robust framework for understanding the ethical foundations of governance and our individual roles within it. These concepts empower us to analyze the legitimacy of authority, the nature of our civic duties, and the ongoing dialogue about what it means to be a responsible member of a political community, fostering a deeper engagement with the moral dimensions of our collective lives.